I want to kind of compare what we mean, and it's kind of what I was finishing up with on Friday. So let's do let's put in a position vector. Here is a position vector. I'm going to put it in 2 space, although all of this applies if we're in 3 space. So it means the initial point will be at the origin. And I'm going to put this one, the terminal point, at 3, 1. So I plot that point, and since it's a position vector, I'll start at the origin, draw to that point, there's my arrow. So we kind of have 2 things here that I could talk about. We could talk about the point, 3, 1. And if I'm talking about the point, I'm going to put it in parentheses. And then I can talk about the vector, the position vector that has this point as the terminal point. So if I'm doing the vector, I'm going to use angle brackets. And the 2 are different. On the test, if you use parentheses and you meant angle brackets, we're going to take off points. So make sure that you use the correct notation. So, and when I have a vector in this form, I would call the 3 and the 1 the components of that vector. So we could write this. I guess we have this in component form. So this vector is given in component form. And I'll just write it again. Angle brackets, 3, 1. And so there's a definition in the book about components, and it's if the initial point is at the origin and the terminal point is at some point in the system, the coordinates of that point are called the components of the vector. So here's a definition. I'll write it out for you. So let's say we have vector A. I'm going to draw a line here to separate this from what I wrote previous, because it's kind of running together. So I have vector A, and we have vector A in position form as the position representation. All right, vector A as a position vector. And the terminal point of A is point, first coordinate is A1, the second one's A2, the third one's A3. I'm going to go ahead and do this one in 3 space. Then I can say that the coordinates are called the components of vector A. Then the coordinates of the terminal point are called the components of vector A. And if I'm writing a vector, I'm going to put an arrow at the top to indicate that it's a vector.